Hello everyone, we are Chartusor Inferna, proudly from Indonesia for Data Quest 2025. Our project is titled From Boom to Bust: Socio-Economic Drivers of Fertility Transition in Indonesia and South Korea 2014 to 2023. Through our data analysis, we explore how socio-economic and demographic factors shape fertility patterns using World Bank data and lasso regression. Indonesia, as a developing country with the world's fourth largest population, still faces major demographic and economic challenges. Historically, it had Southeast Asia's highest fertility rate in the 1960s, which gradually declined with improvement in education, urbanization, and women's workforce participation. Yet recent policies such as the vasectomy campaign show that population control remains a sensitive issue tied to social and economic stability. In contrast, South Korea, a highly developed nation, faces an opposite crisis: ultra-low fertility despite strong government incentives driven by high living costs, work pressure, and shifting family values. These two nations illustrate opposite ends of demographic transition. Guided by this contrast, our project addresses three key questions. What socio-economic and demographic factors influence fertility? How they differ between developing and developed contexts? And what policy lessons can be learned for sustainable demographic balance?
Let's move on to methodology. The dependent variable is the fertility rate, defined as the average number of children a woman is expected to bear during her reproductive years, Maulida et al. 2023. Then, independent variable represents socioeconomic and demographic characteristics, such as urban population, unemployment rate, working age population, infant mortality rate, life expectancy, female labor force participation, internet usage, GDP per capita, old age dependency ratio, and access to electricity. Now, why use lasso regression? Because it not only handles multicollinearity but also performs variable selection. Identifying factors truly matter. Afterwards, a post-OLS estimation refines coefficient precision, and model performance is tested using R-square, RMSI, and VIF to ensure the model reliability and accuracy. If you look in the graph on the right side, notice how each line changes as the penalty term increases. Weaker predictions shrink towards zero, while stronger ones remain visible.
Before presenting the result, note that some variables were excluded due to high VIF values above 10. Now, as you can see here, the lasso result for Indonesia and South Korea reveal opposite direction of socioeconomic effects on fertility. The yellow bars show negative effects, while the blue ones indicate positive. For Indonesia, notice how infant mortality and life expectancy raise fertility, while female labor and unemployment lower it. This pattern supports finding by Taquim et al. 2025 and Maulida et al. 2023, emphasizing women's empowerment and economic factors in shaping fertility. Meanwhile, in South Korea, the trend flips. GDP per capita and life expectancy reduce fertility, confirming Kim and Yi 2024 and Rator and Sheikh 2023, who found that higher income, education, and urbanization suppress fertility. So, what does this mean? Indonesia fertility stays moderate as welfare improves, while Korea economic growth coincides with population decline. Both models fit well, with R-squared around 0.993, but the key takeaway is that economic and cultural context drive fertility in opposite ways.
This radar chart compares fertility driver in Indonesia and South Korea. We can see that both countries have opposite trend. Indonesia is still in a demographic transition, where rising income and education have not yet reduced fertility. Therefore, policy should focus on strengthening family planning, improving women's education, and supporting low-income families through conditional cash transfer. Meanwhile, South Korea faces a post-transition challenge, declining fertility due to modernization, high costs, and work pressure. To address this, the government needs to promote paid parental leave, gender-equal family policy, and family-friendly workplace. In short, while Indonesia must control population growth, South Korea must reverse population decline. Population policy is not just about number, it's about people and progress. That's all from our team. Thank you for your attention.